Hello, and welcome to Mondo Street Social Club. Today we're joined by the Howlers, one third of the Howlers. The other guys will be with us in a tick. Adam, how you doing?
I'm very well, man. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks for asking. Yeah, um, you're in a car. You're somewhere sunny. Where
Yes.
are you?
Yeah, I'm in our van, our tour van, and I believe I am somewhere around Birmingham. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm at a nice sunny service station on a of an evening.
Yeah,
It's not all glamour this job, so yeah, this
it
is generally it.
sure isn't. Sure isn't. And the reason that you're traveling is,
We start our debut album instore tour tomorrow morning
Mhm.
up in Scotland, so we're traveling up there today. Um, Yeah, no, our album's out very, very shortly. So
Yeah.
we were just all been in the van discussing it today, kind of being like, it's a bit of a surreal experience now because we've
Mm.
been working on this for such a long time. But
Yeah.
here we sit, or here I sit, as the others get
Here
me
you
my.
sit. So somebody else is pointing at sandwiches, going, "Does he like that one? Does he like that one?" I'm not quite
Oh,
sure.
I'm not messing around with sandwiches. I already put my order in. I was like, "You're getting me that, and I'll see you in a bit," sort of thing.
Good man, the best way to go. So you just mentioned that what you've got to lose to win it all is out May 17th.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's our debut, baby.
yeah. So you've gone from singles, EPs, and taken that leap into the full format. How do you feel about that?
You know what? Like, I won't lie to you. Like, for the past, so we announced the album on January 20th, 20
Yeah.
something. Um, and I'd say, as an independent band, it's a lot of hard work, and we're a massive
Mm.
outside album, so it's kind of been a bit of an uphill struggle to kind of keep mentally there and kind of
Yeah.
and when we've had to drop doing some things and we've had to pick up doing others and you know, it doesn't all go your way, but then some things do, and the gratification is few and far between. But it's been nice to finally be approaching this album very scarily this week, and yeah, today we all got a bit giddy like little school kids in a camp, you know what I mean? So, uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's been a bit of a mixed bag because we
Hmm.
we've been through a lot as a band, and we
Yeah.
continue to. But we seem to have the worst luck ever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Okay. Because your music has been really well received by the critics, however much we listen to critics. But
Yeah,
equally, you've got a really passionate fan base, and you can, as soon as you listen to some of your tracks, El Dorado stands out for me. And the new one, is it Lady Luck? I've got a terrible habit of getting things the wrong way around.
yeah. So
Um,
we've put out the first single we released from this album was El Dorado, but we didn't we didn't let on that there was an album at that point. We just kind of we
right.
wanted to come out in 2023, but
Yeah.
things uh things get delayed, and
Mm,
yeah, we were like, okay, well, we haven't put anything out this year. Let's put out a single, and then we'll put the album out next year. And yeah, so we this year we've put out three singles this year in
yeah.
about five. Lady Luck, Cowboys Don't Cry, and the latest one
Yeah.
being I Need Your Love. So um, yeah, there's a little bit of a taster of the album out there so far.
Yeah. I think one of the things I noticed, and I'm a big fan of the Gretsch, the Bigsby Bend with lots of echo on it. And there's that
Yeah,
lovely bit in El Dorado where that just feeds in almost through the middle eight. That's a cracking sound. You mentioned that you're an unlucky band.
yeah.
Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
I mean, like over our very short career, we've been very unlucky with a lot of things in our own personal lives, but also as a
Yeah.
band. Whether it be bad
Yeah.
management, bad agents, but
Yeah.
our sense of personal loss has been massive on this
Yeah.
band. It's been, I think it's like approaching like 10 family and friends now that have all passed away in quick succession. So we and it that takes its toll because we haven't been able to grow around our grief and our pain and our trauma before more
Yeah.
has been piled on. So that's one thing. And then on
Mm.
top of that, I had our own battles with like health and stuff. Like I almost croaked it twice. Gus almost croaked it once. Um, So yeah, we've had a bit of an unlucky run, but the fact we're still here is because we have each other and we put each other
Yeah.
through it. We're a tenacious band, so it's like, you know, sometimes things haven't gone our way, but other things have, and it
Mm.
we've learned to kind of be, I don't want to use the word stubborn, but kind of like,
Mm.
no, we're going to make this happen or make this work. And we're not an egotistical band. We just, all we've ever wanted to do is make a small but meaningful difference to people.
Mm.
And slowly but surely we're getting there. It's a marathon, not a race, as they say.
Yeah. I think it comes across that you've got a very, very tight sound. So
Mm,
when you're playing, you can actually hear the passion between you. Because sometimes if you get a band where maybe it's one of the older bands where they've been playing for 30 years together, that the relationships have started to crumble a little bit. You can sense that in the music, but yours is very, very tight, and
yeah.
I think that your personality's knitted well together there. So that's really good because people are responding to it well.
Yeah, I mean, like we've like, we really knuckled down. Like we've gone into a debut album having never done a festival season, never played a festival, never had like big streaming or editorial support that way.
Mhm.
So the one thing we've always had to that we can control is our live sound and how we are, and our
Yeah,
sound. And yeah, that's kind of what is our bread and butter. Like when we walk out on stage, we aren't afraid of the learning curve that's going to happen. We tend to walk off stage being like, okay, we could have been better here, or could have been better. We have that 10 minutes
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
reflect. Even though you're surrounded by 20 people that are just like, that was amazing, or whatever,
yeah.
your crew and your friends and things, and you're just like, nah,
Mm,
like, we could, this was bad, and this could have been
mm,
better. Um, and that's kind of what defines us as a band, is that we've developed this sort of authentic, natural sound, and
mm,
our personalities are in this band and this music, and we kind of we value everybody that comes down, and has come down over the years to watch us and be part of the family, the ever growing family, so to speak.
mm.
So,
Yeah.
album is for the fans. It's not, it ceased
Mm.
being ours the minute we finished recording it. It's now,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully people see the amount of emotion that is in it that we've put into it.
Mm.
Really.
Yeah, we've spoken about this on the show before about that moment of release where you take that finished product and give it to the fans.
Mm.
That there could almost be a sense of bereavement there, as if you've lost one of your kids in some kind of
Yeah.
weird alternative reality.
Yeah, but like any, like, I'm not a parent, but I think any good parent would tell you that they're like, even with children, there's a point where you have to let them go and do their own thing. And I think that's the same with me. Any
Mm.
art form, music, like it,
Yeah,
you can't control how people react to it. So we don't even try. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna, not everybody's gonna like your music. You can't make everybody like your
mm.
music. So I'm not gonna try and make everybody like my music. You either like it or you don't, and
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. Like
yeah.
like we don't get offended if someone says they don't like us. Like
Mm.
I don't like your shoes, mate. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to tell you. But it's one of those things.
Yeah, and personal taste is not the end of the world, is it?
Yeah,
We've got far more important things to worry about.
yeah. I mean, like, as I said, like, it's learning curve. Like we're a band that's always growing and always learning and always evolving, and
Yeah.
we take everything on board, even the backhanded compliments or the outright insults that we've had over the
Mm.
years. Like you take it
Yeah.
on, you find some element of good in the bad. You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you already consume you.
Yeah. I can testify personally that not only are you organized and together as a band, but you're very well organized from a management point of view, from a how you think about your public image, how you think about, even coming onto a podcast, whether it's a small podcast or a big podcast, you've really got it nailed down. And I think that's something which will stand you in good stead because you're aware of how you are perceived actually does impact your music and how that's received.
Yeah, I think how we look at it is that everybody, you know, you you know, just taking you for example, you've given up a portion of your day with the desire to want to
Mm.
speak to us or speak to me or whoever it is,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's me something like that.
mm,
It doesn't matter who you are. Like I'll always say that I would much rather speak to people who have like their projects are their passion, their love, and like, the things.
Yeah.
Then someone who is, paid by a big corporation just to speak to me, been there, done that. It's boring. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like, and that's why, like, on this campaign, we just didn't bother paying for like radio, because we were just
Mm.
like my national radio, because it's expensive, and I don't need to be told by a massive producer that that our song's not going to be on the radio and it cost me $1,000. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything.
It in the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. So how big are the record stores then that you're going to be playing in? How do you feel about going into that very, very small venue?
Happy, man, like happy, like Gus has just brought me dinner and he's getting his cigarettes popping out. But yeah, like happy, like, we, as we said, this album is for the fans, and that's why
Yeah.
we wrote it. We sat down and said, well, why do we make this record?
Mm.
And we all said it's for the people that have listened to us and been there from day one. So we said, all right, let's do a debut album in-store tour ahead of the release, because the people that are going
Mm.
to come down before hearing an album, especially in today's day and age,
Yeah.
are the people that absolutely believe in what we're doing and connect with it.
Yeah.
They're going to take a punt on that
Totally.
album, they're going to buy it, they're going to pre-order it before they've heard it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're walking into these stores, whether there's going to be 5 people there at midday,
Hmm.
or be, 200 people there of an evening. Every single one of those people matters. And like,
Yeah.
we're going up to Glasgow and Edinburgh tonight and for tomorrow morning, and we know that they haven't done as many sales as,
Hmm.
say, like London and the southern dates. But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
that those Scottish fans have any less value to us. So
Totally. Totally.
that's why we're going there. And like, we
Mm.
know that, we just announced a big UK tour as well, and we know that we've sold a lot of tickets for that, but we've not sold a lot of advanced tickets for the in-store tour, and that tells you something, that people are kind of
Hmm.
choosing what they can afford in today's age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're doing everything we can to get to people
Yeah.
to do that. But yeah, they're great little stores, and we picked them because
Mm.
they're independents, and they are all like, they're like big national ones that you want to work with. And
Mm.
yeah, it's been really great to kind of work with those teams.
Yeah. Fantastic. Just run through then what's the creative process like within the band? Do you do the lyrics? Or is it a completely collaborative?
Yeah, it's muggins here, man. I kind of write everything. Um, Basically, like, how we kind of work is that I write a song. I'm autistic and I'm dyslexic, so I write through feeling. I don't quite
Okay.
often chords that I'm playing, I have absolutely no idea what they are, bar the
Okay.
basics. And it's
Yeah.
quite often that I'll look at the boys in the band while we're like fleshing out a song and kind of go, "What am I even playing, man?" And they'll say that I've played some weird chord that I didn't
Yeah.
even know. But yeah, I work quite well with Chris from Black Honey, who plays guitar in Black
Mm.
Honey. He
Yeah.
he challenges me to be better.
Yeah.
But if I show him a song, he goes, "Nah, you can do better at this," and he helps me demo it and things like that.
That's
And then
good.
I
Yeah.
bring it to that way.
Excellent. And how about the actual the devil that is writer's block? Has that ever hit you?
Yeah, all the time, all the time.
Yeah. So
Uh,
how do you get yourself out of it then?
I buy something that gets myself out of it. I buy something.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I got myself a t-shirt, a nice bit of clothing, or
Yeah.
I get inspired from that. It kind of tricks my brain
Yeah.
uh, out of it. I don't know. It's a very expensive way to be a songwriter, I'll tell you that. But
It's a really good way of doing it though, because we can find when we've got a creative mind that the lack of creativity we fixate on, and the more we fixate, the longer the block is. Going out
yeah,
and doing something else to get a dopamine rush
yeah,
is
yeah,
is mostly a great way of doing it.
that's kind of it. Like, I go out and buy something, and it kind of pushed me back into it. But there was a period earlier this year where I was having to write album two, or starting to write album two,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to pick up a guitar. There was about 2-3 months where I was like, I don't want to rehearse, I don't want to write a
Hmm.
song, don't even want to
Yeah.
sing. And the boys were understanding of that, and it was a moment that I needed to have,
Yeah.
because they're getting a bit on top of me, and yeah, they tricked me back into a rehearsal room somehow.
How, how
Uh,
do you trick how do you trick somebody into a rehearsal room?
like, come up and we'll hang out and we'll
All
jam,
right. Yeah.
and I was like, all
Yeah.
right. getting there like, let's run through this song, and I'm like, you bastards, you know what I mean?
but
Uh, uh,
but you fell for it, and you're glad you fell for it.
yeah, yeah, like that's what makes our friendship and this band um an amazing experience to be in and have, is that we have that understanding of each other's when we need space and when we need support, and
Yeah.
you know it ain't all rock and roll, man.
No, no.
Sometimes we struggle, so you have to be
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah. And it's good that you've got a tight knit relationship to get that support when you need it.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely been one of the things. And speaking of the devil, one of them has just arrived and sat next to me.
Oh,
Who's sitting next to you then?
This Gus is sat next to me now. He's just
Oh,
had,
Gus.
had his dinner.
hello.
Hi,
Nice
buddy.
to meet you, mate.
But I don't know, where's Tom?
He's getting a McFlurry.
Of course he is.
He's getting a McFlurry.
Yeah,
How rock and roll.
yeah. As I said, it's not all late nights and drinking, partying, and cigarettes. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's
No, no.
meals and flurries.
Yeah. So you described yourselves as desert rock, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a big fan of desert rock.
Mm.
So who would you say was your main influences within that genre?
I think like we as a band like take influence from like a lot of different places where we kind of always described ourselves as like a three-way Venn diagram. Like it kind of, there's things that we cross over with each other with, and there's things
Yeah.
we like that nobody else likes, but there's that little spot in the
Uh-huh.
middle where we bring in all our influences that are different and varied, and that's
Yeah.
kind of found when we get in the room. It's not like forced or put on. So yeah, there's no simple answer to that really, but
Okay.
the it just comes from everything from like, you could say like heavier rock to country to hip hop to
Mhm.
element pop to even like soul and Afrobeat and things like that. So it's
Yeah.
all in there. It's all in there.
Yeah. Okay. And is there, as a songwriter, is there one song out there? And this is a very difficult question to answer. I do apologize. But is there a song out there that you wish you'd written?
Is there a song out there that you'd wish you'd written, boys?
Oh, put me on the spot. What's yours?
I don't know, man. Like it'd be something. It had to be something mental. Um, Actually, say that. What about "Song for the Dead"?
Mm.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age, "Song for the Dead." I mean, we were listening to that in the van earlier,
Yeah.
and just musically, that song's insane. So
It is phenomenal. I was lucky enough to see them in Manchester in November, and when that drum part starts at the beginning of the song, the crowd in the stands just doing this massive big whirlwind in the middle. It's absolutely insane. Such a good band.
yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song to drive to and make up a bit of time on the road as well.
That's brilliant. It really is. Is there a song that you would like to cover as a band?
Uh, what was the song we were chatting about the other day? That Gwen Stefani song. That was like the riff would be good.
I can't remember.
Don't know. I don't know. I did a cover recently in Manchester for a radio show. Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division,
Oh,
which
nice. Yeah.
quite. But actually, this morning we were mucking about doing "Dirty Old Town" by the Pogues.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good
That was
song.
good. So
Yeah.
yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Although we were actually discussing earlier today as well, like an old one of the very first rehearsals that we ever did, where me and Gus basically stayed up all night in a rehearsal room. Just, I think it was Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
It was a Bob Dylan song. Yeah, just pretty out of our heads sort of thing. Just thinking it was terrible. So yeah, one of them. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. So then, it, if you think about, and this can go to anybody else in the car as well, what song would you have if your life was a film? Yeah. What song would you have over the opening credits and the closing credits?
I've got a good one.
Go on.
There's a Sinatra song called "This Town," which I'd
Yeah.
have, which is a good opening credits song.
Yep.
What would you have as a closing, Gus?
I'd have a bittersweet symphony and walk off like a madman.
Yeah.
Well, like the stroll down Hoxton Street that he does, you know,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
barging into
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Arm slightly behind you, so you're doing that little
The old
shoulder
the
jiggle.
old Mancunian sway, as they say.
Yeah, the old Mancunian sway. Yeah. Okay. I think from the people that listen to this podcast, that they're really interested in the creative spirit and how people, you know, survive within the industry. And you've already shown that you've got quite a lot of gumption or stoicism. You know, you didn't want to say stubborn. Um,
Mm.
when do you think that your desire will be satiated? You know, have you set a milestone or a goal for the band?
I wouldn't say we have.
I think the goalposts always move, don't they?
Yeah, the goal.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. The goal. I think like we never started out as a band and said we're going to play Wembley in 5 years. That's not what we said. That's
Yeah.
like I said earlier. Like we always just wanted to make a small but meaningful difference to people that wanted to listen to us, and that's enough
Yeah.
for us. I think like because this career is ever changing, ever moving, and once you achieve something, there's always something else to be achieved. You know, someone once told me that you'll always say as an artist or a musician, one more year,
Mm.
we'll always do. And so yeah, I think we all have like music is like all consuming for us. So it's never gonna run dry, I don't think, unless we get sick of each other. But actually, as for most bands, we're actually pretty good. Like we never really fall out. Like I think I've fallen out once. I didn't even say we fell out really. We had a little spat on tour for about 10 minutes. And then that's it. But we're pretty good at, like, as I said earlier, giving each other space, understanding, being supportive of each other. So I think that desire is there as long as we all know instinctively that each other has it.
Yeah. Okay. And just around the van quickly then, are you nature or nurture? Do you come from a family of musicians, of creative types of artists, or are you breaking the mold? Are you the first one?
Or me, like, I'll start. I don't, but I found out about 6-7 years ago that my mum did used to play guitar, but has since forgotten it all.
Okay.
I come from a family of number crunchers, so I don't have that. But
Yeah.
I mean, my mum and dad were into music, but they didn't play anything.
Schlager.
Okay.
My mum,
Schlager.
before me, she played accordion.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
That's very Dutch, man. That is so Dutch.
It is, isn't it? That is very, very Dutch.
Or two, and then my parents got sick of the noise, and I think she got sick of it. But yeah, I was the only one really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay.
No, my gran played organ in a church. That's about as close as it gets to music in my family.
So I guess we're all mold breakers, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is very rock and roll.
It is, isn't it? It's that perfect formula. It's that perfect DNA match. You know.
No, it's a complete pain trying to convince your parents this is a good job.
I mean, to be fair, mine was really supportive. Like I got a drum kit.
Yeah.
And you know, they didn't mind the noise, and the neighbors didn't mind it either. I mean, I'm sure they minded it, but they let it. Like they didn't bother me.
Yeah, but you were a kid. You never saw that, you know.
Well, exactly. So you know.
But yeah, so we're kind of a bit of a weird one that way. No nepotism here.
No nepotism. Good. Okay, so after the record store, you then go on to a full venue tour.
Yeah. September and October. It's like 17 dates or something like that.
Okay, and that's up and down the country.
Yeah, here, there, and everywhere, and all the places in between. It seems, but
apart from Liverpool.
Well.
Talks to add a couple of dates.
Yeah, there's a bit of a talk going on at the moment.
Right.
Liverpool's a funky city for us sometimes. So,
Okay.
look, so put it this way: last time we were in Liverpool, we left Liverpool and went never again.
But then we did,
and then 2 months later, we got an offer to play in Birkenhead, and we were like, Birkenhead's not really Liverpool. Let's go Birkenhead, and it was great. So,
where did you play in Birkenhead?
What's that venue called?
Future Yard.
Yeah.
Future Yard.
Yeah, Future Yard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
that
great.
was a great spot.
Great venue, great staff, great stuff. We loved that. So when we were booking this tour, we were like, maybe we go back to Liverpool. But there is talk at the moment because we're routing a Dublin date as well, so it kind of with port it kind of plays in. But yeah, we'll see where it lands.
Yeah, okay. At the Future Yard, there's an event in July called Crapfest, which is a local band called Crapsons, who are massively entertaining. They're kind of like a punk band with a very, very strong sense of humour.
Yeah, I imagine Crapsons you've got to be.
Yeah, you got to be. But it is a great venue. So that should be really something quite special. All I can do now is wish you the best of luck with the record store.
Thank you very much. We're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's something that should be applauded that more independent artists reach out to the fans that way and support independent stores. So I think that's a really good move for you. And then onto the full tour and the release of the album as well. So it's a busy 6 months.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were saying actually today in the van that we've kind of been moaning that we haven't been doing nothing for a little while, and then past 48 hours things have got a little bit more mental, and now we're moaning that we're too busy. So it's a good thing to do. But yeah, thank you very much, man. And yeah, if we actually end up wangling this Liverpool date, we'll get you down. So yeah, forward to getting down the road again.
Brilliant. Well, safe travels, and I hope everything goes well for you. And I look forward to seeing you again at some point.
Thank you very much, man. And yeah, we'll hopefully we'll meet up soon.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers, dude.
Cheers.